Welcome to Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-date news on the political scene of Donald Trump, his presidency, American politics and conspiracies. Please subscribe to receive notice of our daily updates. Also share with your friends and your social media. We encourage you to like our videos and give your comments.
This is TBNN.
Trump's closest advisor just warned any attempt to impeach will result in mass violence. Washington, D.C., renowned Nixon dirty trickster, and one of Donald Trump's closest advisors, Roger Stone, has warned that blood will flow in the streets of America if President Trump is impeached. Stone clearly elicited how an insurrection like you have never seen would likely come to fruition if politicians attempt to remove Trump from the White House, specifically noting that those politicians would be endangering their own life. Stone was clear that he was not advocating violence but simply predicting it. The longtime Trump confidant said that an attempt to impeach the president would be met by armed resistance among Trump supporters. Try to impeach him, just try it. You will have a spasm of violence in this country, an insurrection like you've never seen, he said. The people will not stand for impeachment. A politician that votes for it would be endangering their own life. While Trump has done himself no favors with many of his policy moves, like Jeff Sessions' renewed war on cannabis, there has, without question, been a concerted effort undertaken by elements of the deep state security bureaucracy, Clintonites and their mass media allies, Podesta, WAPO, CNN, etc., and the Obama administration and its cronies in the security services, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, McCabe, Strauss, etc., to delegitimize and undermine Trump and his entire presidency. When you come to understand the vast interconnectedness of the political parties, DNC and GOP, as simple vessels for the corporate security state, you realize the unique threat Trump's stated plans of rapprochement with the Russians presents to the deep state and military-industrial complex, which relies on the Russian threat as the driving force for trillions of dollars in military expenditures. For example, the U.S. just began a $1 trillion upgrade of its nuclear arsenal. What is the reason? Well, of course, it's due to maintaining nuclear parity with Russia, thus less tension with Russia equates to less money for the armaments industry. The war on terror was determined to not be lucrative enough, in terms of big-budget defense items, thus a pivot back to the evil Russian narrative as it allows for more F-35s, tanks, and nukes to be purchased. Throughout the ongoing soft coup operation, the goal has been Trump's eventual impeachment, with support for impeachment recently having risen to 40% among the American public, according to a poll by the Public Religion Research Institute, PRRI, earlier this month. Stone was clear that he believed the deep state operation was pushing the country towards a civil war-type scenario. When asked by TMZ if he believed there would be some sort of civil war if the Trump was impeached, the longtime political strategist replied, "Yes, that's what I think will happen. Both sides are heavily armed. There would be violence on both sides." Stone, who was an early advisor in Trump's presidential campaign and is believed to still be in contact with him regularly, noted that the people who are calling for impeachment are the people who didn't vote for him. They need to get over it. They lost. Sorry, he whipped Hillary Clinton's ass. It's over, you lost. Make no mistake that there is an ongoing, and slow-moving, soft coup taking place, that is being orchestrated by high-level politicians, and their cronies, who sit in powerful positions in the U.S. intelligence security bureaucracy. While it is important to show the behind-the-scene players in the soft coup, it is also important to point out that Trump has flip-flopped on nearly every promise in regard to foreign policy and has since begun carrying out the neocon agenda of war with Syria and Iran. It is also important to point out that although Trump may have sought rapprochement with Russia in the beginning of his presidency, multiple moves have been made by the Trump administration that do more to provoke the Russians that seek peace with them. For those who would take up arms to defend any of the puppets in the White House, we urge you to reconsider. It matters not which talking head is in the White House, as the upside-down funnel of wealth extraction will continue, as well as the growing police state and war. It is the establishment that is the problem, who cannot be taken out with violence.
This has been the Trump Breaking News Network. Please subscribe and share to stay up to date on the latest news about our president. Be informed.